Well, we heard earlier that JP Morgan has firmed up its expectations of a rise in official interest rates at the RBA meeting on Tuesday. Let's see what the team at St George is tipping. I'm joined now by Simon Mariner. And Simon, let's just go through some of the data that we've had, particularly the numbers that we got yesterday. Did it change your view on rates? What did you take away from the numbers?
Well, yes, I suppose the key data release for yesterday was retail sales. It's a key domestic release, up for August, 0.9% in August, following falls in both June and July. So the rebound there does seem to suggest that perhaps retail sales resuming their upward trend. It was only a moderate pullback that we saw in June and July, perhaps as a result of the petering out of the government cash handouts that we've been seeing. So strong retail sales on one side, some hawkish comments from the RBA on the other side has caused financial markets to shorten the odds of the likelihood of a rate hike from the RBA by the end of the year.
Okay, because we have actually seen the Australian dollar continuing to climb after the numbers that we've had. Do you think it can continue to climb even from here above 88 US cents?
Look, I do think it can continue. There's some comments, will we see a rate hike from the RBA even this month? And that's certainly a bit of an underpinning or backdrop for the Aussie dollar. Perhaps, from my mind, a little bit too soon to talk of a rate hike for this month, but likely that we might see one by December. But every rate meeting is what financial markets would consider a live meeting, so that is affecting other instruments. December is probably more likely for them because it will give them a fresh round of employment and inflation data to look at. But yeah, the Aussie dollar magnificently higher, 13.5 month high at 88 plus US cents, being underpinned perhaps by the likelihood that we're going to see a rate hike from our central bank in the coming months, and certainly the first around the world to start hiking, but also just good global economic improvement and some good growth prospects for Australia as well. Look, just on the Aussie dollar, I'd say just beware out there a little bit. We might see a little bit of a consolidation in the next few days, maybe the next week. But in the coming weeks, we'd look for it to target higher ground. The next high for it to target perhaps 89.5 US cents.
We had the PMI numbers out today as well, Simon, and they showed some pretty welcome news with improvements in that sector. Although we did have the Chief Executive of AIG, Heather Ridout, say that the very steep rise that we've seen in the exchange rate is in some ways like a monetary policy tightening in terms of that part of the economy. And she says that strengthens the case to leave rates unchanged. Would you agree at all with that?
I do. Look, financial foreign exchange markets do act as a stabilising, or free-floating exchange markets do act or give a bit of a stabilising effect to an economy, and that's what it's for. Certainly makes our exports relatively a little bit more expensive if those exporters are unhedged. So hopefully they've talked to some good financial market specialists and got some good hedging away. The PMI data, yeah, China coming out again, 11 a.m. this morning. China's PMI, some good manufacturing activity there. It's up again for September over August, so it does sort of confirm or highlight the fact that China's manufacturing sector remains buoyant. The recovery itself in China, it does sort of point to the fact that it's on firm footing there. We saw some more data yesterday as proof of that with some leading indicators index. Very important for Australia. China, I think some people tipping or speculating that we're going to see it breach 8% growth for the year. So again, going to underpin the Aussie dollar there, perhaps help support it or even push it to higher ground because China perhaps one of our most important trading partners.
Simon, great to get your thoughts on all of that. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Simon Mariner there from St George on rates, Aussie dollar and PMIs all making news today.